Obeyed out of spite. Have fun digging through the garbage container. I work as a janitor in an office building. I clean toilets, take out trash, vacuum, and so on. I come there early in the morning before the office opens. While collecting trash, I sometimes find some sheets of paper under or behind desks, near the bin, or just on the floor. Since I don't know whether the papers were thrown away or if they are some important documents that accidentally fell, I usually pick them up and put them on the edge of the nearest desk. Let the employees decide later whether to throw them away or put them in a folder. Better to be safe than to accidentally throw out something important. However, the manager didn't like my approach. One morning, she came early and began to be indignant that I was putting trash on employees' desks. Of course, I never put real waste, wrappers, various packaging, crumpled paper, and the like, on desks. I explained why I do this and said that I don't want to take the risk of throwing away something important. The manager stated that everything that lies on the floor is trash and that the employees aren't so careless as to drop important documents on the floor. I nodded and promised that I wouldn't do that anymore. Several weeks passed. The manager came again early in the morning and was clearly alarmed. The day before, a cabinet with documents had fallen over. The papers were gathered, but part of the important files had disappeared somewhere. She asked if I had seen them. I reminded her that according to her own words, everything that lies on the floor is considered trash. So the documents, apparently, had been thrown away. She exploded, but said that this was a special case. The cabinet had fallen. I calmly asked her how I could have known that if I'm not here during the day. And no one told me that I needed to pay attention to fallen documents. At that moment, she realized that she herself was to blame. The manager started mumbling excuses and then ordered me to go to the dump and look for the papers. I replied that the office would open in 15 minutes and I still had a lot to do, and went to continue working. She flared up and left to search for the documents in the trash herself. When I finished cleaning and headed to my car, and our parking lot is right next to the container, I already knew that I would see her there and had already prepared what I would say. And indeed, the manager and several employees were already standing by the container, digging through the trash. When she saw me, she demanded that I join her. I calmly delivered the prepared line. "Ma'am, my duties include taking out the trash, and yours, ensuring the safety and confidentiality of client documents." I left, and in my head sounded a cartoonish scream of a villain who had been defeated. A few hours later came a message. "Now for papers found on the floor. A special shelf will be allocated where I can put them so that the employees can sort them out themselves later. No substances at work. Fine." I'm terribly irritated by poorly written corporate policies. If you've decided to make rules, do it properly, not by assigning the task to an intern. Once my wife came home and showed me a printout of a new company policy about fitness for work, which all employees had to sign and return. She decided to show me the document first, because, well, I'm me. Overall, it was an absolutely amateurish document. Just a waste of paper and ink. But there was one part about the use of substances at the workplace. The clause said, "Do not come to work under the influence of substances or alcohol, and do not bring them with you." I advised her not to sign the document until the company clarified exactly what was meant by substances: paracetamol, antibiotics, Ritalin, or only illegal and recreational drugs. A couple of days passed, and version 2.0 appeared. They had expanded the section about substances, basically copying a dictionary definition, something like a substance for which there is no prescription and which has a physiological or mood-altering effect when ingested or otherwise introduced into the body. Well then, time for malicious compliance. The next day, my wife signed the document, turned it into HR, and calmly went to work. By lunchtime, the office was getting restless. Dissatisfied voices were heard more and more often. Within an hour, work had completely stopped. A crowd gathered around the kitchen. The manager, noticing that only my wife remained calm, came up to her and asked whether she had taken all the coffee from the break room. She admitted that she had and pointed to the new fitness for work document, where it clearly stated that the use of mood-altering substances at the workplace was prohibited. The manager tried to object, saying, "But it's just coffee." She calmly reminded him that caffeine is a substance that affects mood, which means, according to company policy, it cannot be kept on the premises without a prescription. And she got what she wanted. My wife took the hidden coffee out of the storage closet. The mood in the office noticeably improved, and soon the company ordered a professionally written fitness for work policy based on official government guidelines. My car is worth pennies? All right, prove it in detail. My old car got into a minor accident. The impact happened to hit one critically important spot, which made the repair economically unreasonable. The insurance company said they would pay me the market value of the car. According to their assessment, that was $5,000. However, I did my own research, a huge Excel spreadsheet, lots of calculations and averaging, and found that the real price was closer to $7,500. I didn't want to switch to con mode from the start. Surely they had some logical and reasonable explanation for this. I just needed to find out what it was. In the end, our correspondence dragged on for weeks. I'll shorten the story. In brief, the conversation looked like this. I found the exact same car X for $8,000 and car Y for $6,000. Why are both of them priced higher than the amount you offer me? We can't take the first car into account. It's located in another state. In my country, that's like saying it's a different zodiac sign. But we can take the second car's price into account. But both cars are in another state. Why then can you consider the second one? And by the way, the second car has higher mileage than mine. Are you saying that a car in worse condition is still worth more than what you calculated for me? Look, it's already a great price. We didn't even include the clear coat peeling. Me, please include it. Just explain where such a difference in price comes from. I'm literally asking you to bury me in laws, contracts, spreadsheets. Give me something. They were silent for several days. Then I contacted the state agency. They said that if I didn't receive an answer within 2 weeks, I could file a complaint. I replied to the insurer, "I understand that you're busy, so I'm giving you a full 3 weeks. I've also sent a complaint to your customer relations department where I stated that I expect either $7,500 according to my calculations, or a solid justification for why I should agree to a lower amount, confirmed by laws, service terms, documents, anything. If you need time to gather everything, that's fine, just let me know. If I don't receive any of that, I'll have to ask the state agency to help sort this out." The reply came 5 minutes later. I was transferred to another representative. The new person immediately provided all the necessary facts and offered the exact $7,500, noting that this amount was guaranteed only if I didn't contact the state agency. I hadn't planned to anyway. Now I had everything I needed. Thank you so much for watching. Share your own stories of malicious compliance in the comments below, and don't forget to check out our other videos. Big hugs. See you next time.